All right, what's up, everybody? Ooh, drop frames. I got some drop frames going on. Something is happening. Hello, welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to get rid of some stuff here. Some other things to try to clear out my dropped frames. Dropping a bunch of frames, 8%. So it's going to be a little choppy. I apologize for the choppiness. Get rid of that. I don't want to reboot or anything because I'm already started. So I don't know. Maybe problem with the internet connection that I have. I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off. Just to help with that. I'm not going to tell Beth to turn hers off. But anyway, thanks for being here tonight. Cheers. This is another saloon door hard pour golden boy or golden pony. No, pony boy. And it's very good. It's got a bit of a coppery flavor. So tonight I did viewer's choice, and across the two Instagram and YouTube, it looked like the winner was going to be working on the Q2 Stadium tonight, so that's what we're doing. I'm really hoping this frame rate drops. I think that's just not going to be an average for the beginning of the thing, so, you know, whatever. Yeah, so let's get to work on this. So this is obviously the bigger version of, and you all let me know if you can hear me, see me, all that good stuff, can see what I'm working on. We are getting some rain tonight, so I'm not 100% convinced that, I need to change this slideshow up to show some other mocks, maybe, not just the microfighters. So we'll see if we retain power tonight. That'll be interesting. All right, so for those who aren't aware, and this will change as the night goes on, first of all, wearing a beanie because, or knit cap, whatever you want to call them, I have what I thought was an ear infection, but it's not an ear infection. It is, don't like this soft rock. What do we got here today? We got chill piano, classical, drum and bass, emo, jazz, indie, hype bangers, house grooves, hard dance, and epic. Let's try house grooves. Beth and I had this discussion the other day about what the difference was with all kinds of EDM, like what's house, what's trance, what's just basic techno, you know, kind of stuff. So yesterday I went to the doctor because my ear was hurting really bad, and it just felt like an ear infection. I get bad stuff in my ears most of the time, like a lot of wax, so I'm used to cleaning them out. But I did that, and it just wasn't feeling better. So I went to the doctor, and they're like, well, it's nothing looks infected, but it's definitely full of fluid. So go ahead and take these steroids. And then they said, and if it starts hurting, let us know, and we can prescribe some, what's up, Greg? We can prescribe some antibiotics. And I'm like, the whole reason I'm here is because it hurts. Like, I can deal with just pressure in my skull, in my ears. I'm used to that. These are all off, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to map it out. So I got, what's up, Vab? Thanks for coming over. I'm guessing Johnny's done. So yeah, I know he does a lot of builds, and he was saying that I do different stuff. And this is about as different as you're going to see, probably. Not many people. I think I've only seen one other person do live stream stuff in studio, and that's, I think his name's Simon, Darth Designer. He's an Italian guy. He makes all kinds of warplanes and warships, some Star Wars stuff, lots of scale things. He's very meticulous with his scale, and he's very entertaining to like have in chat and stuff. So, but what I'm doing, thoughts on the new Batcave. I'm not going to get it, but it's a lot of black. I haven't really looked too closely on it. I know the shadow box effect really stacks really nicely, and then when it opens up, it's got a lot of functionality in it. That's about all I know. I saw it and went, yeah, I'm not getting that. I don't get a lot. I have one Batman thing, and it's the original tumbler, and I only got that because a friend of mine was selling his. And he was selling a handful of sets, and he's like, do you want this? I was like, sure, I'll take it. And it has literally just sat on a shelf and needed dusting every couple months. So I'm just like, I don't know. Anyway, so for those who aren't aware, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to open a different one. This is a bigger version of what I've done. Small west side, small. So I already have this done at the scale that is basically the hello Neves. How do you pronounce that? Jedi Master Neves, JMN. So if you're aware of the Old Trafford, Camp Nou, and I think there was one other one, soccer stadiums that came out like 3-4 years ago or something. I think you can probably still get one or two of them, but I think they're retired. You're about to blow up. Bring the crew. So this is Austin FC's stadium, Q2 stadium. I actually have this built, but this is, about that big, about that deep, and about that tall. Got stickers printed for it. And then, yeah, so this is basically the same footprint as the Old Trafford State Neves. I basically use the same footprint and the same kind of style of taking it apart as the other one. I built Old Trafford in studio, like just found the instructions and built it in studio, and then tore it all down to the base. And then, because I wanted to keep the field, because it's a soccer field, right? It makes sense to keep that. And then I just took out everything that made it that, except for the field and the base, and just built it back up. Now it's got this big, thick thing right here, because the actual stadium has all this stuff around it that kind of, it's like a hill, like a real gradual, like kind of spiraling sidewalks and stuff that kind of lead up to the main concourse that you walk around in. And then the first level of seats go down to the field, right? So it's not like you walk into the stadium and then go up and then go onto your seats. So that's why it's built up a little bit. I really like this build. It's one of my favorites. It travels well, works well. But my ideal is to then build it at a huge scale to where each individual seat is like one of these cheese slopes. So I would need like 20,000 cheese slopes. But I've been working on trying to figure out the size and shape of each section, working out how to build each section to make it something that can travel, because I'm assuming I'm probably going to be building it in my house, but I want to build it in chunks. So I learned my lesson from building the state capitol, where I built the entire thing in my house and then had no way of getting it out of my house. So I had to figure out how to break it up, and then had some help from an engineering friend to make... What's up, Kodiak? Yes, I am ready to become a popular YouTuber. I've only been doing this for 5 years now. Thoughts on Pac-Man. Am I getting Pac-Man? I want to. I'm so bummed. There's a guy in our lug who literally 2 weeks ago did basically a mosaic but of the Pac-Man screen, right? And it looked really good. And he had it out on Ideas, and we all went to Ideas and voted for him. And then, like, the next week, everyone's like, ooh, that's just bad timing, buddy. So, yeah, Mills Plate. I'm probably going to do Mills Plates. I haven't decided how big to make them yet. That would keep the... that would allow it to travel well. If I can get Mills Plates, and if I can make everything in like a 10 by 10 by 10 cube size, that way it can travel in little 10 by 10 cube boxes, if I can't figure anything else out. Otherwise, it's going to have to be in like chunks that can be easily moved. And I'm serious, like two plates by 2 plates maximum. Any bigger than that, and I really, you risk of it all falling apart when you move. So the easiest thing to do to start was the field. The field doesn't even need to be Mills Plates. It can just be flat. But I did my best on the perspective. I think this circle needs to be a little bigger, so I'm going to go back and work on that. But now I just need to figure out, there's a flyby. So sorry to answer your question. Yes, I'll probably get the Pac-Man set. I don't know if it's a day one purchase for me, because I think the Perseverance Mars rover is also coming out June 1st. It said June 1st, but then like the Shop at Home site, the article I read said June 1st. Then the website, and the article was on Lego's site. So I sent him an Instagram message. I'm like, okay, your article about the rover says August 1st or June 1st, but the Shop at Home says August 1st. So which one is it? Because that'd be great if I could get Pac-Man, because I haven't bought anything real recent. I got a $30 set. So get Pac-Man, which is 120, I think. And then a couple months later, get Perseverance, and then in October I can do the Venator. But yeah, so this is what the seating area looks like, and it's already like, I gotta do a origin here so it zooms in. So this is what the seating area looks like, and I'll bring up what the stadium actually looks like. So you can see this is the stadium from the outside, and this is kind of a, I think this is a rendering, but it's pretty accurate. So you can see how like this is just a gradual walkway. There's like a couple steps there and a couple steps there, but it all leads up to this like main concourse right here, and then the field goes down into it. So all this stuff kind of leads up to the outside of the stadium, which is going to be hard to build unless you want to build like the trees around it and this amphitheater thing that's on the outside. What this doesn't have is like, this is with the seats all filled in, but without the seats filled in, you can see, and I'm going to be doing that occasionally. My ear really hurts. I'm on amoxicillin, I'm on prednisone. It's just, and so I'm wearing my knit cap. I was going to explain this. I'm wearing my knit cap because there's an AC vent right here, and cold air blowing on my ear just makes it worse. So if I flinch or something like that, that's what's causing it. So the seats are all supposed to be, what's up, Johnny? Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. And Kodiak, hello to you as well. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I hope you're not driving like you were. Iceberg, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope things are well with you. Yeah, so you can see all the different colors. This isn't like this section's green, this section's brown. These are all supposed to be, the symbol of the team is a tree. So all the seats are supposed to be leaves, different colored leaves. And so when doing this, I had to get 3 different color greens and then find out which ones were cheaper. This lime green is probably the cheapest, and I think yeah. But there's also like a Fabuland green, if you can get it, but you have to be able to get it in these colors. The other problem I'm having is these seats right here are the same colors, but they are webbed seats instead of solid plastic seats. So they appear darker because there's light coming through them and it's a material and it's not as solid. Did a 13-hour drive today. Been a long one. Home and working on dinner now. Cool. Beth and I had a rice bowl. I made a rice bowl that was like rice and cucumbers and edamame and carrots and ginger and an egg on top and green onions and, you know, some other stuff. But like it was a bowl of rice. And so I got really full and I'm like, you know what will help a big belly full of rice is a beer. And I'm going to explode like a cadaver later. All right, so, and you can see back here, this is just to prop it up in the software so I can get ideas on how to hold it up. But what I really want to do is make this more solid. So I've been debating either just step it like this and build it very solidly with just bricks. But the angle is wrong. I really want to keep this angle. This angle is too sharp. That angle is, like I measured it, that I literally took a protractor to the stadium and measured it. That's the angle of the seats right there. The only difference is you can kind of see it feels a little taller. That just means should be more room up here, and that's because I think there's a little more space in here. So the other thing was to try it on a plate and just have the plate up here, and I think I have that over here somewhere. I tried just bricks. I don't think bricks were going to be the right fit either. They couldn't really tell that it was an individual seat. So the compromise I came up with was a bunch of, this shifted already again, a bunch of 1x4 snot bricks, right? 1x4 snot brick. And then when it's stacked, there's a little gap here. And that makes it feel like it's the little walkway in between the seats. And I tried the seats the other way. They're folded up, especially the supporter section. When nobody's in the stadium, they're supported up, or they're up. In the supporter section, they're locked. Everybody in the supporter section stands the whole game. We stand there, and we chant the whole game. We wave flags. There's a specific song that everybody gets riled up, and then we get really quiet. And then the drums start in and everybody throws water everywhere and we all dance like crazy. And you do that for 90 straight minutes. So still working on, I think this is going to be the way to do it. I just need to be able to structurally make it work. Do you think Lego needs to make a Lego Cupid 50-50 song like they did with BTS? Nah. If they're going to do something like, there's no videos I think tried, but there's no real like Lego music acts as in terms of like a Lego theme. Did I close? I think I closed. There's a flyover where I need to get the size of the stadium. Somebody's got a drone flyover of the stadium, and I'm hoping that it shows it from the bird's eye view so I can get an idea of what it looks like. Because this is all great, and I can go to the stadium almost anytime I want, but I need to know like what the footprint looks like. I'm not a huge BTS fan. Like, I don't think I could. I think I know one song. I know Dynamite. That's it. So then it starts showing other stadiums from bird's eye views and not Q2. So I'm going to have to go watch that drone footage and see if I can get a good image of it. So that's basically kind of what I'm doing, is laying out the groundwork for it. It's just going to take a while. So these are all going to be, this is going to have the seats coming up from the field all the way around. There's two corners here. There's one corner here. And then this near corner doesn't have anything in it. It's just blocks of cement. And then we've got risers on this side and then risers on this near side here. So there's two higher sections. Then your points bet bar and some VIP boxes are here, and then the merch shop's going to be on that side. So a lot of this stuff is going to sit just for funsies. I'm going to raise these up just to get an idea of how, because I think the seats are going to be more than just that one section, but I don't know. Let's raise these guys up to about that level. So that's about the level of the walkway here. This is a walkway that comes like, there's like two. I don't like this. I don't think that's going to work. So let's get rid of that. I would replace some of the 1x4 snot bricks with the double-sided 1x2 or 1x, and add some clips and hinges to support column. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I don't know if I want to do columns or if I want to, and I might do that. I might do some 1x2 with two sides, but then have it so for structural purposes, it has a plate behind it. And I can have big plates sitting underneath it. And then from that plate, I can kind of do anything I want. I can put clips on it to attach to something. I can put hinges on it. So I can have a bunch of hinges at different angles along the way on stepped bricks. The thing is, like, under here, like, this is where the big tifos that get raised at the beginning of the game from this section, we paint them, like, right here, underneath the seats, right? So there's this big empty space right here. I'm not going to build that, because once it's built together, it's going to, hopefully, be behind, like, glass or plexiglass or something like that, so there's not going to be a lot of taking shit apart. So I just want this to be solid, which is why I was trying all these other methods, thinking that I could, make it somehow a little more solid. But there's several techniques for roofs where you make it as a solid piece and then they just hang, right? What I need to do is I have a giant bag of these. Like, I've got like 1,500 of these things. And then I've got several thousand of two of these colors. I need one more color already. So what I want to do is, like, proof of concept, just kind of build it like this, because this is how many tall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. These are like 30 tall, 30 rows, just to see how that holds up, right? Like, obviously this isn't going to make it. But there's a couple of things that can be done with a 2x4 and a 1x4 and a 1x2 next to it, especially if you stagger them, is you can put like single plates behind those and at least hold those together. So that's a possibility. I'm also making this entirely too hard. Like, I know everybody else who's done stadiums is just like, step up bricks and that's what you do. But I'm like, that didn't really work. It doesn't look right. So, one of the figures, or one of the players, Diego Fagundes, used to play for New England, and I think somebody made like a custom minifig of him. Let me see if I can find that. Because they were doing a live stream, like the announcers, and every once in a while they'll have a guest on, and I was watching it, and I was like, we need Lego minifigs of Fagundes, and he's like, and he says, again? So I'm like, Fagundes Lego. I think he already had one made of him when he was at trying to remember where I saw it, because he's got a very distinctive little beard thing, and he dyes his hair occasionally. This is him in Austin. The only thing that you can't really do is I'd have to get this custom made because almost to a player, they've got just sleeves of tattoos. So you'd have to get a whole group of custom arm prints or something like that. I think he may have been talking about his bobblehead. Because I don't see him in here. I thought I did originally, but maybe it was a bobblehead. Anyway, yeah, the idea was when I did the smaller set, I wanted to do three figures. I wanted to do the captain, which was is at the time Sebastian Driussi, who's like a league MVP nearly. World Cup by I Show Speed. Is that a thing? Oh, it's a song. Okay. Cool. The goalie, Brad Stuver, because he wears these hot pink outfits. And then Fagundes, because he was the first, I think he wasn't the first player, but he was kind of the star player when we got him. And he scored our first goal and all this kind of stuff. But I like to get the money to spend on that, and nobody in the Los Verdes supporters group actually bought a stadium. I had the instructions out on Rebrickable, and everyone's kind of like, yeah, cool. And then nobody actually went out and got any. So it's kind of like, screw you guys. And also I had somebody who said they knew people in the front office who would be interested in the stadium, but then I never heard back from anybody. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do this on my own then. It's a thought experiment now. I don't know why I have this thing here. Okay, so if I were to do this... Do that again. Do that again. Now these are base plates, so I'd have to replace all these with like actual plates. But that's kind of what it looks like all around the horn, like that. And then these are all raised up. So I think what's probably going to happen is I would make... I don't have a really good view of this side, but this side over here, I'd probably make each of like these three sections, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and some change. Like each of these would be its own section to build, right? And so it's maybe 2 plates, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or I could do 4. That's fine. So this is easily travelable. And these could be Mills plates. Like, I don't mind making Mills plates of everything, but if I were to cover... Because for all intents and purposes, I'm paying for all this, right? I'd have to buy all this unless I can, again, convince the front office or the supporter group that this is something that they'd want to help support. This is going to be like $6,000, $7,000 worth of parts. I mean, the base plates alone. Let's do... How many base plates I got here? So 61 base plates right now. That's $700. Just the gray ones. And $400 for the green ones. So taking donations. So if you were to replace that with maybe possibly cheaper, let's see. So if I just did that color, and we'll do plates. I don't know how, let's restrict it to that color. This might take a while. There's 11,899 available parts in Bricklink's database. This usually breaks it when I'm streaming. All right, thanks for being here, Neves. Have a good night. Yeah, this really broke it. Okay. So let's see, what's the biggest plate that I can break down into 32 by 32? 6 by 8 doesn't work. 8 by 8 will work. 16 by 16 will definitely work. That's not the right color. Shoot. I need it to be darker. Not that color. So here we go again. Which is even fewer. Look at that. I like how the this changes based on how expensive the part is. It's like it's getting a little more expensive if you get this one. I don't know why it's doing that. That's not that expensive. 70 cents. So this plate is $10. To get 4 of these would cost $20. So that's not worth it. If we did 8 by 8s, let's see, you would need 4 each. Yeah, this is just boring logistics stuff. Sorry, y'all. I could be building backlog, but people didn't vote for backlog. They voted for the stadium. So that's what we're doing. This music has lyrics, and I didn't even put that together till now, and I'm kind of okay with it. All right, so if we just did, like, let's say we're doing Mills, and we put this on top of it. 14 versus 10. They need to relax after the excitement of my stained glass windows. They were just like, it's happening! So I'm sure in bulk somewhere you can get these pieces. 6 by 6 into 32 won't go. 4 by 12 will. But again, this is diminishing returns because you're going to have to build, this is probably your best option. Either 8 by 8 or 16 by 16. 16 by 16 is not cost effective, but I think you'd have to wait to find these like in a lug bulk order, or if we were to do project support and just say, the problem with project support is we would have to, so project support, for those who don't know, is if you're part of a Lego user group. Johnny's in a Lego user group, I'm in a Lego user group, I think Vab is in one too, right? You have the ability to participate in certain benefit programs, right? One of them being lug bulk, where as a group you can order a bunch of brick from Lego for very inexpensive cost. Babs in yours, right? So like once a year you fill out a form, and then everybody gets a list of what Lego is offering, and then you put in your parts orders. And we usually, like, there's limits on how many you can get. There's limits on cost. Like, everybody usually spends about $250. I forget what like the maximum actual cost is for like the whole thing. But we'll get a list, and then we usually like pare it down to be like, all right, what are we have room to do 185 parts, or we have room to do whatever the parts list is. So these are what we've nominated as the common parts, and then you can pick some parts as well for your personal pick. And then everybody gets a little something, like everybody weighs in and votes, and the top vote getters get to be the common parts. But then you reserve your right to buy like one personal pick, and you have to buy 50 or 100 or whatever it is. It works out. Nobody ever complains. It's fine. It's the same pool for project support, but project support is for something like this, or the Mars base that we're working on, where everybody kind of comes together and buys a lot of Lego. And it's usually, when we do lug bulk, we look for like the best deals. Like we'll nominate a bunch of stuff that's like 80 to 90% cheaper than Bricklink, right? Project support, we don't really have that kind of option. We're just trying to get the best parts we can. So for this, in this case, we would order probably not wedges, cheese wedges, because you can get those anywhere usually, unless it's really cheap. But this kind of stuff, like if it was discounted from one being 90 cents to instead you could get one for like 20 cents. And then it makes more sense to buy a lot of them at once, especially for a project like this. But you have to be on the lookout, and that can take years, and you know, it's whatever. So if I were to do Mills plates of just the field, it would probably be this. So let's color this gray. Let's just look. Now Mills plates, I haven't done a Mills plate in a while, but I think you start with your corners, and let's just do these in blue so I can keep track. We have a Mills plate for the Mars base, but the plate is 48 by 48. So then you've got a Technic brick. I want to change this back because I don't like it all being green. Let's do light bluish gray. 1 by 4 Technic. So it's usually here and maybe not. Sometimes I think there's an opening too. Sometimes I think you just do it with, let's look. Mills plates. Yeah, here we go. Arch. So we had to take out an arch to do wire pass-throughs because it was an extra part. So, and I guess technically if you want to do the plates instead of bricks, it's up to you. So yeah, so this would be an arch. 1 by 4 arch. Color that red. That guy goes there. That guy goes there. Color these black. You know what? We should color those red also, but it doesn't matter. And then you've got a 1 by 8 brick. And we'll color these yellow. Alright, so everybody's happy with all this. Oh, I think I broke it. I was moving too fast. Yep. It's gonna die. Don't die on me. I haven't saved any of this. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Alright. I was patient. Yay for patience. Problem is, it jumps around so much that it's hard to line it up the way you want. Oh wait, I didn't want... Yeah, it's just, I know if I move too fast and I've got a big model like this, it just goes crazy. Oh, thanks for, yeah, cool. And it just wants, it's not smart enough to know to connect. It wants to connect to the nearest top thing instead of like in between. And that bugs me. And then there's like, you fill it full of stuff. I don't think it matters how much you fill it. but it's usually just like you take the same pieces in here and you kind of make channels. So like you're kind of just doing this, but it's whatever supports the plate that you're going to put it on. So it's usually one where you can get a side on it like that. You just use 2x2 bricks for the top plate? Oh, you just fill it full of 2x2 bricks? So if we're gonna do this all the way up here. Thanks for grabbing all of those. Really appreciate it. So I'm doing an experiment with myself. I have taken amoxicillin and am drinking a beer. Now, I did read an NIH paper about the effect of alcohol and antibiotics, because there's always that question. I just used 2x2 brick for the top plate. Oh, gotcha. But I looked it up because I was like, well, I'm getting alcohol for the win. So here's my story, is that we've got a couple events coming up, and I know they're going to be at bars. Like one of them's a happy hour, and I'm like, and I'm going to an Austin FC game tomorrow. I'm like, I'm going to get a beer, but my ear hurts. I have to take some. I have to do. All right, see if you follow my logic here. I'm not just trying to get out of taking medicine, or am I trying to be able to just go out and have a drink with everybody? But I go into the doctor's office. Okay, there's your Mills plate. And for my ear, she looks in it. She's like, well, you don't have an infection. There's no infection in either ear, but your middle ear is very full. There's a lot of fluid in there. And I'm like, wouldn't that be an infection? Like it fills up because there's an infection and it's trying to fight it. No infection. So I'm going to give you steroids, and that should help dry out your infection. I'm like, okay. Or dry out the fluids. In a couple days, if that hasn't gone away, let us know and we will get you an antibiotic. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what do you mean if it hasn't gone away? She's like, well, if the pressure goes away or you start feeling pain. And I was like, I feel pain now. Like at the time, every like 10 seconds, it would like feel like a jab into my ear, right? I don't ever put anything in my ear except a bulb to wash out my ears, to flush them. I don't use Q-tips. I don't use safety or hairpins or anything. So I was like, no, I'm having pain now. She's like, oh, well, we'll get you an antibiotic. I'm like, okay, cool. So steroids and antibiotics. She's like, take the antibiotic or the steroid for the full day to start. Make sure there's no side effects. Next day, if everything's good, start taking the antibiotics with it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, dang it. That means I probably shouldn't go drinking with being on antibiotics. So I was looking it up and I was kind of like, antibiotics. I always hear when people say, no, I'm on antibiotics, I can't drink. And I'm like, but it's amoxicillin, man. They give that to kids. You know, it wouldn't be that bad. So I looked it up and I read like, there was, it wasn't a CDC paper, but it was a U.S. Research group and then an NIH paper. And both of them were like, there are 5 antibiotics that you absolutely should not mix. But generally, there's no correlation between having any problems. Like there's no side effects between the two. They both make you sleepy and it might compound things. So if you get tired on one, you're going to get tired on the other, and it's going to make you more tired. That's really all it was saying. So I'm like, I'm not driving to either of these places anyway. So I took a amoxicillin about 2 hours ago, and I'm having a beer. And I'm just going to see what happens, because I don't go to these places and get stinking drunk. It's too expensive to go to a soccer stadium and drink $14 beers or $12 beers all night. You get one, and then you drink water the rest of the time. So, all right, so let's just assume that I'm going to Mills plate this whole thing. I don't plan on it because I don't know how much wiring I'm going to be doing. Yeah, $20 for a beer that's not Miller Lite. Exactly. So I always get Love Street. There is a brewery in Houston called Carbach, and I think they're nationwide, but they're out of Houston, and they've got a beer called Love Street, and it's very good. Like, it's very light. It's got a good taste. It's not an IPA. It's just like a blonde lager. Real good, right? But it doesn't matter. Whatever beer you get, it's $12, $15, something like that. I'm like, ugh. And they get, you get a tall can or whatever. Thing is, then you have to open it immediately and put it in a cup because you can't take a can into the crowd, right? And if you get a bottle of water, you have to open the bottle of water and throw the cap away because you can't have solid closed things. They don't want anybody to be throwing stuff or whatever. So let's just do this. How many plates of these do I have? I have 40 of those. So let's copy this into a new file. Okay, so we decided that 40 was what? $400. So this price is going to be average 6-month sales on Bricklink. It could be lower. Like, I could go find somebody who is selling these for like $7 or something, right? It doesn't always have to be $10. So if we take that and we do a new file and we just do this and then we copy, let's make it a group so it's easier. I wish there was a way where you could just say, just duplicate this 40 times. And here's the other thing. These stupid base plates are just the worst when it comes to, like, there's no, oh, you know what? F it. I just need 40 of them. They don't need to be together. I just need to know what the cost is. Let's do that. Copy. This is probably going to break it. This is going to be a lot of stuff. They do have a full bar, so our thing when we go is we generally will go to this place called PointsBet, which is just a bar. I'm going to go ahead and close this since I saved it. Because despite having a fairly new PC, this thing is just... Well, I don't know if I can just copy and do by 40. I'm just going to try to copy and repeat over and over again. I don't think there's a way to say paste by 40. Oh, the cost. Yeah. That's cool. That's brilliant. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Because I like looking at it. I like looking at how big it is. Because also I want to do a model count. Oh, come on. And see what the total pieces are for all that. No, don't. I don't know why you have to render it. Just close. You don't need to close it. Dumb thing. So we'll go early. We'll go to the PointsBet bar because you can go into the PointsBet bar at like 4. The gates to the stadium don't open until 6. So what we do is we go to the bar. They scan your tickets before you go in. You sit there. It's quiet usually and air conditioned. They sometimes have something on the screen, a game. There's like a women's world soccer game. They'll do that. What did I say there were? 40? I forget what the width and... it doesn't matter. And we will go... When the door opens to go back downstairs, when the gates open, but there's usually like 5 or 6 people in that line instead of like 100 people in the line outside the gate. Then we just go and get right to our support section seats. We get our good seats, and then we're good. Tie our scarves on the railing. Go find our dinner, which is either tacos or there's a bao place right next to where we are. What's up, Missy? All right, so this is 1632, so I need 8 more. And I think they need to be 8 this way, but that doesn't matter. This is more of a football field. All right. So, model view, model info. We need 2,100 of these blue bricks. Again, that's a lug bulk order, or pick a brick wall for that matter. But let's do this. I'm going to do this. Close. All right, so I'm going to sign. I just want to see what Bricklink actually thinks this is going to cost. I think this is my password. Okay, good. So let's upload it and find out just the field. Accept all cookies. Thank you. Oh, did I not finish? Oh no, that was another. Okay. My nephew had a soccer game. Right on. Are you a fan of soccer, or are you just a fan of your nephew? Okay, add to wanted list. Great, great, great. So if we did buy all... No, we're going to do this differently. I want to do easy buy, because this will look at other countries. It's a nice round 3,600 total parts. Missy's seen the smaller Q2 in real life too, so get everything from 94 stores. That's dumb. That's how dumb those green plates are, because I'm guessing each one of these is one green plate. That's ridiculous. This is all over the world. These shops have like one green plate, and it would cost $1,400 just to get Mills plate. What did we decide? What did we decide these were? Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 8x8s. Oof. It might actually. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sometimes it's like whatever. Is it herd ball? He's 7. Yeah, okay, so it's a bit of herd ball, a little bit. So, $1,400 just for the field Mills plates. So let's look. Okay, let's cancel that and cancel this. Let's actually look at what it would cost if I just buy all. Auto select stores, minimum buy, start. This might take a second. So this is only looking at the US because that was my preferences, was for the US, I think. Or no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't select either way. Oh, cool. Nice. Congratulations to him. Yeah, this is all from different... I don't want that. So go back, buy all. I'm signed in. My preference should be US. And select unique lots. How many carts? If this has more than like 10 carts, It's not, it's the plates that are the problem. So this is stuff that you got to think about. It's like, might just be easier not to do Mills plates. Just do regular, you know. Oh my, look at all these carts. Look at all this. Unique lot. 1. Look at all these 1s. That is dumb. $1,300. It's actually cheaper to buy them all in the US than overseas because it wasn't even factoring the shipping. Ooh, that's crazy. So, let's try this. I can't really do that. So this is dumb. We're just gonna say that's dumb. Don't save. I want to keep the Mills plate over there because I can change the color and have gray. I should have done that while I was thinking about it. I can have gray plates for everything else. But maybe the field is just going to be flat base plates, which is fine. I don't mind that. I'm also not 100% convinced that this is the penalty box is the right size and the goal box is the right size. It's hard to measure without an image. Like, it's not like I can take Photoshop and like put a layer behind it and like translucent or, you know, slightly transparent the front layer and then like move pieces around to make it, you know, fit the image. So you just kind of have to guess, and I think I guessed wrong. Plus you got to figure out how to make a circle in the middle. Oh, come on, man. This is definitely not supposed to be taking this long. So Missy's build, y'all saw my spaceman, my happy little space babies from this last month's build. I think they're great and creepy. I've kept them together because I like showing people who come over so they can go, yeah, that's creepy, man. Missy had this great, most of the people that, and I knew this was going to happen, they built these little bitty things with little space babies. And I was like, I'm making it big. She had this great, like, gantry with, like, mission control and, like, where the rocket went and, like, it was really cool. Like, a lot of the builds this time were just amazing. So we did them in gray. How much was it in green? $14 and $12. But can we do a plate? Yeah, it was very hard to vote. I think it was evidence because usually we'll have one person who really kills it and then like 2 or 3, and then it just kind of naturally kind of fills down. This was like a weirdly, like normally it's like this weird bell curve, like lots of votes, more vote, or lots for one person, not a lot for this last person. In the middle, they get a lot of average votes. This was like very flat because it was like tied for first, tied for second, like all the way down to like 6th place, 7th place. It was a bunch of ties, and I was like, wow, people had a hard time voting. Let's see, plates. So that's an 8x8. If we did 16x16. We did that in green, that's $6. Did it in gray, that's $3. If we did 4 of these, that's $3. So might not be as expensive. So if I did this, so your base plate is $11, and then the rest of that's $20-something, right? Which means all this stuff in here is expensive. These are going to be cheaper in different colors. I think this is probably cheaper in a different color. Blue. Dark turquoise is apparently cheaper. Wow, who knew? Olive green. I wish I could like scroll down the list. That yellow said it was cheaper. Tan. Ugh, don't make me build anything out of tan anymore. red. Dark turquoise, man. Who knew? Medium lavender. No, these are all 17 cents. See, everyone gets all up in arms about cost per brick. 16 cents the cheapest. But then you got like one brick, 17 cents. This music, I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. It's microtonal, but it has like Western architecture underneath it. Like it's got a very Western bass line, but then it's got like this microtonal up and down. It just doesn't fit. Sorry. All right, so the question of 2 mils or not 2 mils is probably, again, I don't know if I'm going to light it, but if I did, I don't think I would be relying on a mils plate to get something into it from behind it and then up. Like if you wanted to leave like that open so you can have all the wires running into it and then have your house here and all the wires come up from underneath into the walls and whatever. This is more than likely, if anything's going to be lit, it's going to be the big roof over the top, which can be lit from the pillars that go up into the roof. And they can run behind the model. The model doesn't have to be viewed on all sides. Yeah, and like there's going to be enough room in the roof where the entirety of the lighting it can run up a pole into the roof. Like seeing a cable run up that just looks like it's part of the structure. That's what those are there for. There's these big white poles that come off the roof all over the place that's running electricity and drainage and whatever else up there. So probably I don't think mils is going to be it. But for structural integrity, what I'm thinking more is like these solid bricks of seats. So if we were to come over here and make this, let's center that. This would be like 2 chunks that are together. They would just build them together. And then it's transportable. And then this is marked as, you know, north, or is this north, south stands, southwest 1 or whatever, southeast 1. So that's the south stands. These would all be plates up here because the actual base plates would be on top of it. But I just wanted to see what it would look like level. And these might end up being a lot of, so if you got those big tiles, they're like the 8x16. They're called like railroad tiles or something. What's up, Mayo? There's with tubes and without tubes. I don't know which is better. These are probably the newer versions. No, that's newer. And of course, neither of these have a price. And they're not available in light bluish gray. I thought they were. Is it light gray? Dark bluish gray. Well, the sidewalks aren't dark bluish gray. I really thought that they had 8x16 tiles in. That's so bonkers. Dark bluish gray, huh? Looks like you'll need to sort through a lot of 1x1s to build those grandstands. I won't. I'll show you why. These are all... You just want me to be in your sword stream, and I get it. The problem is my son's birthday is that night, is the 26th, is this Friday. Then Saturday, we're going to do TIFO painting for this Saturday morning, and the rest of the time I'm sleeping. And I was going to do yard work in the morning. So I thought about doing late. I might still, if I can do like 9 o'clock Saturday morning. I've got your spreadsheet. The reason I don't have to sort this It's already done sorted. Just got bags of cheese wedges and then a bag of snot bricks. 1,250 snot bricks. This was a lug bulk order one time. Or not a lug bulk order. It was a... we were doing some support thing, and we just kind of added a little bit extra to it. I may be doing something like this in the background. I don't know. All right, so this is great. This is about how wide it's going to be. Now, the concourse is not that wide. The concourse is only about... This is what... It's probably about 20 feet. The concourse is only about this wide. And then there's building back here. The building probably goes to about here. But on top of, and I don't know how far back the seats go over the top of it, but I think starting about here, like right about here, and going out to the edge of the seats are all the shops along here. Shops being, you know, there's a couple places to get just convenience or, you know, taco, pizza, hamburgers, stands, stuff like that. Little kiosk places to get beer and water and candy and stuff. And they go up to about here. And then on top of this cutout right here is this big scoreboard that goes like up to here. And then on top of the scoreboard is where the roof starts. So this is probably going to go to about, let's see, here. And then, yeah, there's bathrooms along here. There's some like staff stuff along here. And then there's a whole corner section right here. Kind of goes bump, bump, bump. And it's all this corner right here. And then there's a big pillar right here. There's a big pillar right here. Then this side I think is going to be a little bigger. And if you look, so yeah, this section there's no seating here. Oh, also this this section, sorry, I'm working on a whole lot of stuff right now, like voice going out and ear problems. And the supporter section, I think you can remove the seats and move this whole section out, and it can be a stage because they've had concerts here. So that's cool. I forgot about that. But this section over here, so this side, is going to have these buildings, these like, there's elevators in here, but there's also like some, I don't know, I don't really know what's in here, but there's an entrance here, and there's a stairwell that goes up in here. There's some VIP stuff along here. This is like a special, it's called the patio or something. Then there's a whole other club level up here. And then there's like the Lexus Club underneath here, which is just a fancy bar, basically. But from above, that's not a good shot. I had all these like giant, let me do this. I'm going to do it in Google, sorry, DuckDuckGo. Images. Tools, size, large. Oh, what is this? DBM Vercon. Is this just somebody? Oh, wow. This is the steel frame and the design. I am super excited about this, and I can't tell you why. Oh wow, I really like want this. I mean, this is almost exactly how I built the stadium. That's really cool. I mean, that's all concrete. All that gray is concrete poured. I know why. That's neat. That's really groovy. Is this a little movie about it? Oh, y'all. This wasn't available like 6 months ago when I was, or more, when I was doing the smaller version. Holy crap. So you can see how it's kind of like dug down in there. And so there's stuff underneath all them concourses. Storage and, you know, places to put watering equipment and vehicles and things like that. Vehicle assembly. You have a vehicle assembly building? Nice. Is that why Vab Workshop? No, I'm putting the two together. We almost got a tour of that when I was a kid and we were at Kennedy or Johnson. And there was an actual shuttle in there at the time and they couldn't let anybody in, which was unfortunate. But I was able to, the weird thing is then we got to go to Martin Marietta up in Colorado when I was there as scouts, and we got to see them retrofitting Atlantis? It was Columbia and a newer one, so maybe it was Atlantis. Are you kidding? That's amazing. I mean, it's pretty much like right on top of that, right? Wasn't there something they had to add to the top later because it was too big for that? I'm really glad they don't have that logo in the middle of the field. That's very cool. Is it going to be one where you can like open it up and see everything inside? Like all the workings? Because I think the inside's got like one main hangar, but then it's got like a ton of other stuff like gantries and testing facilities and assembly facilities. And then it's only like 1/4 of it that's like where the housing is, right? Because they've got to have clean rooms for all the other stuff to then like bring it together. It's not like a big empty box. Or are you just going to do a big box? Oh, I'm excited about it now. I think I'm done watching this. This was very cool, but it's here. I know it's here, so that's very cool. Ugh, my ear is hurting me so bad. I've completely forgotten what I was looking for. Oh, well, here's a pretty good shot. How big is that? That's pretty good. This is live too. It's not a render by an architectural company. You're gonna put cameras on the overhead cranes for the inside? Wow, that's ambitious. So people can see what it looks like inside. Like, oh yeah, here's all your monitors and here's what all the rooms are. Ooh. So my guess is you're gonna build them in like blocks, right? So it'll be like this block is like the first floor and then there's all these kind of stuff. I am intrigued. I am so intrigued. So have you been following, this is because I think this way, have you been following the 8th Fleet group that is, I'm just going to say 8th Fleet and see if you know what I'm talking about. Because apparently we're all stupid and just want to build these giant frickin'... So I don't know if you've seen this or if Johnny has mentioned it, but this is my big thing so far. This is the Texas State Capitol that I did a few years ago and built it in my house. There's a picture of me building it at the convention. That's about how big it is. So this is my claim to fame so far. I don't think there's any other really good pictures of it. Apparently, a ton of like U.S. capitals and stuff. But yeah, that's it in my house. It took up the whole front room. And you can kind of tell the scale by like these are like 1x2x6 or 3, I guess, trans plates, or you know, like the corners here, kind of thing. Let's see if I can open that up. So there's like the dome, which was a pain in the butt, but it's just pedals on spokes. Yeah, they're all shaped like crosses with domes. This one is relatively big. The cannon's out front, and then there's some side stuff over here. But yeah, that's the scale of them all. It was great. And I think I'm just trying to recapture it again with the Q2. Anyway, 8th Fleet. So the 8th Fleet Project on Instagram, they are building, and I'm gonna let this load, a minifig scale Star Destroyer. So they're building it these chunks, right? I think this is the Architens. This is like the thing that they, there's one in Australia. These builders in Australia built a minifig scale Architens, and even that, it's like, I think they said it was like 30 some feet long or something, and it was just an enormous. I had a hard time finding it last time, but I think Beyond the Brick posted a thing about it, and they had a video, like a guy went down there and visited it. But the 8th Fleet Project is actually doing like a 1-to-1 kilometer, meter, whatever scale, so like they can see their, you know, they're doing individual sections and like just making these giant frames for everything, and then like putting stuff inside it. It's got to be mostly an exercise in digital, because there's no way this could ever get built. It would be like the size of a football field. Yeah, but this thing is like, every time they update it, it's mad. And they let me download a piece of it. I think this was it. They let me download this frame to look at in studio. My computer barely ran it. And it literally like disappeared into the distance. Like even a digital version of it, you look at it at an angle and it would go away. There was so much going on. I'm like, what? So this is the frame, and it's 135,000 pieces and 50 meters long. So half a football field. Yeah, I love watching this kind of stuff, and they don't update as much as I'd like. This was a little, 2 weeks ago. And I'm assuming a lot of this is like, I think there's quite a few people doing this, and so they're doing smaller bits. Like these are probably just Lego builds, but maybe not. You know, there's your row of Skywalkers and these lander vehicles, which I don't know what those are. Yeah, so there's a couple other people that are helping. I kind of want to be a part of it and say, hey, do you guys need help doing vehicles or anything? They did a big cargo ship. This Imperial cargo ship. I guess that's minifig scale. I don't know when these guys find the time to do this. Yeah, but if you get a chance to look at the Architen set those builders did in Australia, it's pretty impressive. So this isn't going to be nearly as impressive, but it'll get there. Back to this. I really thought that I even owned these tiles in this color. I guess I don't. I want to go look at the bag of tiles I have now and make sure, but maybe they're like a 6 by something. Let's just look in tiles. See what we got. Yeah. Oh no, it's right here. Nope. Now I know they come in this color. So if we wanted to do, I said 6x6 was not good for 32x32. But like the entire concourse, and these are not cheap either. The entire concourse could be this. But the other thing is, this isn't going to be minifig scale because these seats are not minifig scale seats. But it would be great to populate the field with maybe 3 high people. I don't know if that would be too big or not. Maybe too high. So this guy would have like blue jeans and a green shirt. Not dark purple. Dark blue. And then you'd have a green shirt, right? And then you'd get another person who had a green shirt, but they had, let's give them shorts. So they'd have nougat. Where's your nougats? Orange. They don't have a light nougat. It looks like a naked person, but they've got shorts on. And then somebody with maybe black pants, and you know, it goes round and round. So this is the size of the people you could have in here. Maybe they've got tan pants. So you just get, you know, a ton of these, and that's your people walking around. I think that would probably be a good size. I mean, if each person occupied a seat, 1 by 1 seat, sure, right? I would definitely have to make my little bow stand over here that lives like right. So this is a whole section this is wide open. This is a tunnel that goes to the outside. And this is where, so the TIFO gets raised. The TIFO is the big banner that goes up at the beginning of the game. We're very fortunate that we have the roof is above us, and there's catwalk under there, and they've rigged ropes that can go and pull the TIFO up. So it's not just like coming over the tops of the heads of the supporter section. Trophy scale too tall? Maybe not, but that's limited in color. We've got this one, which is too big. I think it's called a statue. Yeah. So this might be a little big, but I don't know. Let's see what colors are available. Is that on? Ooh, we've got quite a few. Got black. Black and blue and bright green. Nope. Dark blue. I think most of these people are going to be wearing green. White. I'm trying to think of what else. Dark red. I think in the plebe section it's going to be any colors. But in the supporter section, I wish there was a second green. But there's only one green. There's sand green. That'll work too. So that'd be cool. Oh, here's the thing. If I fill the stadium with people, I don't really necessarily need to worry about I think I would rather have it not filled with people, or it could be like they haven't taken their seats yet and I'm just putting them in the concourse. You know? Why does this set as origin not stick? I think that's a bug in this latest release because I'm constantly having to reset it. What other colors are there? Orange. Because we could put players and refs out here if there's a yellow, and there's not. Dark pink. I already did dark pink. Dark brown. I think there might be more options if we just did the plates. Dark blue, dark bluish gray. So these are your available trophy colors. If you wanted to know that, yeah, that's it. There's pearl colors too. Metallic dark green. So that's 3 colors. And then the pearl gold. What the heck are you doing? It says there's other metallic colors, but I think those are render only. What's up, Cliff? How's it going? Hey, man. Did you get your did you get the White House okay? I haven't checked the tracking number to see if it's... My phone's gonna die. Man, I was a little mad. Iceberg was on for like 5 seconds. Came by to give me crap, apparently. Is this a good one? Okay. So yeah, that's a good size. Ooh, that gave me vertigo. But I don't think... Because then here's the thing. 60 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, 67, 67. That's the same color. Or metallic. Which I don't really think is a real color. That's the cheapest one, the 37. My guess is the pearl gold is the cheapest. So, if you're looking to buy... I'm not going to fill the stadium with it, but let's say you bought 5,000 of these to put in the area around the stadium. That's still, you know, going to be $3,000 to $5,000 to get that much. And hopefully they're in a lug bulk something. So, oh no, this is a great idea, and I'm totally going to leave this here because I think to show scale, this honestly is a really good idea. And even if I just picked one color and bought a bunch of people in green, because everybody wears green and black. I'm sorry, verde and black. These are the these are the colors of the team, right? So even if I just got a bunch of those and like scattered them around the concourse, that's a great idea. I like it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just start amassing these for no reason, and everyone's gonna be like, "What are you doing that for?" All right, so these are gonna be a little lower than this because so the concourse basically is right here. It's a little below that. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, it's right over here. How many did I say this was tall? How many rows? 30? Let's count. Shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think they're like 25, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30. All right. See ya, Mayo. So let's try 30 of those and see, because I don't know from structural integrity, just to see what it looks like. Oh man, don't make me cut this bag open. Somebody really knotted this. And it may have been me. I think I busted this open once. So I don't know if you know this trick or not. You twist it and then push it through. And it should come out pretty easily. Twist it and then push it through the knot. So I have to take apart all our to-go bags. So let's see, 30 of these, right? So, because I don't want to have to actually count. New Lego. But yeah, anything that maybe is a 1x2 with the studs on both sides that can then attach to something behind it. Or if I can just build these to rest on something underneath it with clips. I think you'd mentioned that, Vab. That would be okay too. Because its weight is going to be fine. What I don't want it is to, like, in transport, be like this. Collapsible, you know, even like alternating it. I have a bad habit of building things very large with like no structural integrity. So that capital that I built, 100% empty. It's hollow. It's so hollow. One of the wings is basically like 2 walls and a roof, right? It was just this. And it was just sitting on base plates. And it literally was like this tall, right? So we're trying to carry it out to the truck, and like you lean it wrong, and the whole thing just like you made it out of cards. It just went frunk. And I was like, well, saw that coming. And I'd even gone through and like, so that's about that. Oh, this isn't going to be that big. That's not too bad. Like, I think the field will be the size of this table. That's not too bad. Probably a little more. But yeah, this, just right down the middle, you don't want it, like if it was being braced up here, I would hate to think that somebody just hits it. So it either needs to have stuff built up behind it in terms of maybe just slopes. The thing that I think I ran into is the actual angle that I measured with my protractor at a game, because I'm a big old dork. And this was as pretty close to it as I got. Is you can't get a slope this angle. So if I went in here and got slope, if I got up all slope on y'all, ooh, probably can't say that. That's still a slur, right? All right, so this is going to be set as origin again. Just to see what it would look like. I think this outruns its ability to be supportive after a couple rows, so that can't really help. But like you said, a couple clips underneath here, and then what you do is then brick. This may be a little complicated, but it might be all right. So you do a brick, and then you do, this might be better with newer pieces. I'm trying to think of what pieces it would be better with. For instance, all right, so initially I'm thinking, oh, sorry, I'd do that. I built up a bunch of slopes, and it was just the regular 45 slopes, and it does this, and it eventually like meets up, and you'd have to lower it again, and so it doesn't really support it like this. So you put these guys on a thing. Let's do a brick that's 2x4. What's up, Bluegrass? How you doing? Welcome to the party. So let's do a 2x4, and then you got 2 clips, and then you get a bar. 4L, right? Because this is a 4. And I think I've got a bag of like hundreds of these things in black. So let's do black, just because I've got all these parts. And then underneath, You've got your 1x2 modified brick with 2 sides, not on 2 sides. So this will be like one of your, I forget what this angle is, but it's like this. It's roughly that. Then you get these things again. And you just use the same ones because we're using the same parts over and over again to save on cost. And then you just do this. And then you build it in such a way that yeah, I know. Like, I'm not convinced that this is not going to be just brick, 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 and then I put the cheese slopes along there. Which is why I was thinking that I could do something where I could hang it. As long as each of these sections, like this whole section, was very, very well put together. And even that I can do with these, with the opposite facing bricks, where I could just put plates behind it. So at least that one section is sturdy. And then I can just clip it up here and it just hangs. And it just sits there, right? Then I don't have to worry about too much of like what angle it is. And if I need to, I can raise it by just putting plates underneath the bottom of it. And it raises the angle up every time I stack it or lower it, right? But like I can do a bunch of these. Like every, say, other thing. And just have a big stack of these underneath it, meeting up with it twice, probably. I think twice. That's probably good, right? But again, this, I may have to like play with this in real life and just build it. So there you go, Mayo. I know you left, but this would be a good thing to play with on a day when I'm not really worried about being on camera. And I can just put this section together as is, figure out how to tie them all back in the back, and just see how big it is. I think I have enough to get through this section. The problem I'm going to run into is I don't have enough of the third green. I have dark green and regular green, but I don't have this light green. So I'm going to have to order... how much of that can I order? Let's look at... Ow. One by one slope. That's the right one, right? 45 degrees, 1x1 slope. Select color. That is not the right thing. Oh, one slope, 1x1 slope. There it is. Known. So I have dark green and I have bright green. What did I say on this? Bright green, green, dark green. I have bright green and green, I think. The problem is this is the Lego color. This is earth green, which I think is dark green. And this is dark green, which is green. So I need bright green. Okay. And I need it from the US. And how many of these do I have? I'm not going to get 7,000 of these, but let's say 100. And I'll search. The problem is now it's like, oh, look at that. I can get them for 150 bucks. I get 1,500, which is not 7,000, but I can get 1,500, which would be, that might fill up the south section for $150. Maybe they will cut me a deal if I buy all of them. $163 plus shipping. Yeah, I should message this person. It's Brick Vibe. Man, of course it has to be Brick Vibe. Ugh. I'm not against Brick Vibe for any stretch of the imagination. He's a good dude. Not really. I don't think he still has my stuff on here. He had a different store. Maybe he changed his stuff. He did, I sent him a bunch of different mocks ideas and he was going to put them on his site. And I don't think he sold any of them. And it's not his fault or anything. It's just, you know, customizable sets, partnership with Playwell Bricks. Yeah, that is, that's something we had talked about doing, and I guess he wasn't happy with whatever I was gonna bring him. So that's unfortunate. So I think the rest of these are just sets. Like, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I used to have like 4 or 5 microfighters and a couple other mocks of Star Wars stuff. So I don't know what happened. I still end up buying some stuff from his site because I just randomly pick when I'm doing her microfighters or Zero Dawn stuff. I just pick whoever has the best price. It tends to be like one of 5 shops usually. I just think that's hilarious though. Anyway, back to this. So I can get, for 150 bucks, I could probably fill up this section with that color. And you can see, like, this color, I don't know which color is better, right? There's lime, and then there's, is this large? Yeah. So there's lime, and then there's coconuts. There is also, like, this bright, it's a bright color. This is one of the, oh, dang nabbit. So I thought that was a pretty good match. Just the bright green. Well, yeah, it's not his Bricklink shop either. It's, let me actually see. I probably have an email with it. I just want to make sure because I hadn't thought about this in a while. Yeah, it might. I think that was him though. Brick Vibe. But it was called something else, and now I can't remember what it was called. Jason, let's look it up. Microfighters. No, I can't remember what it was. I clear out my email every once in a while, so I have no idea. Maybe it was Instagram. Well, now I'm on a thing. You guys, you're in trouble. It would have been a really long time ago, too. Nope. It was before that. 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 It was right around here. Oh, I also tried to order something from Eclipse Graphics and like, yeah, here's the thing that I want. And they're like, sure. How many do you need? And I was like, I don't know, 250, 100? And he's like, yeah, 250 we can do. And then nothing happened after that. It's like, okay, if you don't want my money, that's fine. No. There's gonna be some people that we all recognize on here. Thoughtful Bricks. I did a stream with them. Don't remember who they are. Mox Market. Oh, this was one that I think was stealing my... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so... I just want to see if there's a site listed. See if it's still up, because it might not be. Let's just look at... Oh, I need a invitation. Yeah, never mind, not worth it. Okay, so that happened. Anyway, so this is my conundrum, is these seem really bright, but I think that works with these three colors. The problem is this color looks a little better. This Fabuland Lime. But I don't think these come in Fabuland Lime. Yeah, they don't. And there's very few things that do, apparently. I don't even know why I thought the bricks would come in Fabuland Lime. They don't. Tiles. Maybe it was tiles. See, this is why this is going to take years to do. Because I have to go through this garbage every time I start up. I don't know what I thought was going to be. A 1x1 plate, maybe? In Fabuland Lime? What comes in Fabuland Lime? It was something. Oh, wait a minute. What did I build? Yeah, it was one of these. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't want to go to Citizen Brick because I would have been laughed out of the room if I'd ordered something less than 5,000 or something. But Eclipse Graphics, I felt like was still like approachable enough to be like, and this was for printing jerseys for minifigs, right? But I wanted a proof of concept. I was like, they have to have the jersey. They have to have short sleeves, and you can buy black or green sleeved arms, but they're very expensive. And they come in yellow. I don't think they come in nougat. And then shorts, black shorts. And then like one of 3 prints for their faces, right? And I explained it to them, and they're like, it should be doable. And now it's like, it makes me want to go buy my own UV printing nonsense and whatever. So the problem that I run into now is that I'm second guessing the colors, but the colors look fine. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm second guessing myself. I don't need to be doing that. I need to push forward. I only have 10 minutes anyway, and the only thing I really did today was determine what things don't come in what colors. And some things are very expensive when built at hundreds and hundreds of pieces scaled. So yeah, so there's a whole other section here that I want to fill out. I like the cheese wedges just because they act as like up and lateral sections of a thing without being a brick, without like having naked studs on top of it. That's fine. Push it. I thought about doing that as well until I saw a 5-figure price tag. Yeah. Yeah, and as soon as I said, yeah, we could do it for like generally $250 run, but then I'm like, that's not just to order the parts. That's also like design time, and you're paying for expertise, and you're paying for like a bunch of other stuff. But mostly it's so you can get the figures, the materials. Let's see. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to play with building this out in a large quantity And I guess just use the pieces that I've got. I can get a substitute color in there. Maybe not green, but I can get other colors in there just to fill it out. And I don't have to, I'm going to have to get a lot of these gray in here too for the, like this. This is funny because this is, I switch them up. So the seats go one way and the stairs go the other way. The stairs are a bit drastic, but it gives you the idea, right? Probably don't need to do that. I don't know. I feel like if it's at this size and I can't do it really minutia to where you can look at it and go, oh my God, look at that. Why bother? Like there's, and I don't mean to down anybody for doing this, but there's like that big, was it the OU Stadium? OU Stadium Lego. Not OU, Ohio State. Like from a long time ago, this dude built this Ohio State stadium. I think this is it. Yeah. I can't tell, like one of these is a digital and one of these is the actual thing the dude built. It might be both. But I don't know if you can see. Yeah, here's a good picture. This is how big it is. But you can't really see that. It looks like it's just, and the curve is very nice. Like that's really nice. This is about how big I'm hoping Q2 gets. I think actually maybe that size exactly because the field will be bigger, but the stadium won't be as big. But you can see the seats are just rows of plates or bricks or something. I can't really tell if they're like actual seats. I wish I had oh, you know what? Settings. Large. Okay, well that's why I don't use you, DuckDuckGo, because you're terrible. Fine, protect my information. Size, large. See, was that hard? Was this it? Yeah, I think that's it. But he also, oh, no, I don't want to image. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh, frick. Oh, that's why, because it's a, so it's minifig scale. I don't think there's 50,000 people in here. This looks like it may be half minifig scale. Because these people look like they would take up an enormous amount of space. But it's just bricks. He does make it look like they have risers. Right? Some of these, like, I think he's used chairs here to denote, like, alumni seating or something like that. So, but that's nothing I can do here. I'm actually going to get, like, the stadium holds 20,000 people. And so I'm going to have 20,000 seats. And you can bet your butt I'm going to count the rows and seats of each section. Like, even if I have to spend an entire game one time instead of in the supporter section chanting all the time in counting the seats. I should be able to get that from images, but whatever. So if we were to do something like, okay, this is, I get it. I need to get rid of this though. Okay, it's getting in my way. I need to figure out just how to do one section at a time. So, part type, but not part color. Nope. Part type. Let's move you guys out. You're great. I love you guys. Good. Let's just get you out of there. Why won't? Oh, it's because there's a whole one over here. Go away. Nobody likes you. So if I took this and put it in here, and then let's say, where it would line up the best. That first row. So this will dictate like how high up and everything it goes. I'm excited to cover the field too with, oh, I want to do this just now because I had the idea, with whichever of these is cheapest per thing. Oh, you know what? Can't do that. No, I think I can get away with that. So there's screens all over the infield surrounding it. I just need to see en masse, how big. Wow, like nothing I click on. If I have to click on something 3 times to make it work, it's not good software. Like trying to grab this thing to get it out here like 4 times just to get it to move, not good enough, Studio. 4 cents, 8 cents, which makes sense. And then 30 cents? Oh, it's a 1x3. Well, that goes away. So probably the best is probably just get a bunch of these. And these are little television screens that go around the field. Right, so I get a bunch of these. And this is, I have to build in the capo stands too. The capo stands are the things that sit right here. Let's see, where do we sit? We usually sit like right here. This is usually where we sit. Because there's a band that sits right here. La Murga sits here. And there's 4 or 5 drums and a bunch of trumpets and tubas and some other stuff. And they'd play music all night. And we usually sit here because it's close to the exit. So we're like right here. And we're close enough to the music and the mayhem down here, but we're not like right in the mix. But there's enough people behind us that throw water on us all the time. So we're not totally out of the woods. But there's things called capo stands, and I think they are here, here, and here. I'll have to check. Capo is just people down at the bottom with megaphones that know all the songs. They're part of La Murga, and they just sit there and get people to chant and cheer, and they tell them what songs we're doing and stuff like that. So I have to build those in there, and they're just little wireframe. Could probably build it right now using... It would probably just look like this. By 3. They're not very big. Plates. Come on, get under there. You make me do this the hard way. Like that 3 times. And then they've got little railings on them, but I don't know how to do the railings at that size. Yeah, I do. Wait, how about a 1x3 bar? There's your capo stand. Maybe put a little figure in there or something. Figure out how to put those in there. Oh, broke it. Broke the computer's brain. So these sit like right here. I think they take out a few seats too, so I'm gonna have to look and see if I have to take out some seats. They sit past the railing too, so maybe like that. Yeah, that works. I have to make adjustments. With the with those guys, but let's put those in there. And the Los Verdes people will be very happy that I included the capo stands in there. Cool. Yeah, that's starting to look familiar now. Like our view is like from right here. So I can get a view through the brick. Can't really change the view too much, but yeah, it's crazy. So we always sit over here. I think I'm done. It's 10 o'clock. I'm tired. The ear hurts. Don't think I got a whole lot done, but I've got some ideas. This needs to be worked on more often. If I'm ever going to get it done, if it's ever going to see the light of day, if it's going to be one of these things I just sit on for 10 years and then I've moved out of the States and don't even root for the team anymore. But yet I've got this file that I'm working on. So, thanks for being here. I appreciate Vab, Johnny, Missy for being here at the end. If you're watching this later, Bluegrass, thanks for being here. Kodiak. Mayo stepped in. Let's go back to the beginning here. We got Greg asked some great questions about current Lego stuff, which I didn't talk about at all. There's some new stuff coming out. Jedi Master Neves was here. That's awesome. Yeah, Iceberg was here earlier. Click and Cliff was here. Go check out his channel. He does like daily stuff, streams and videos and community posts and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, buddies, thanks for hanging out. And I'm not going to be here Thursday. We have got an event that we're going to on Thursday. Tomorrow night's a game. Friday night, I think we might not be doing anything Friday night. Oh no, Friday's my son's birthday, so we'll be doing something then. And then Saturday, I don't know what we're doing. So I might squeeze in a stream on Saturday, or I might be part of Mayo's sorting stream. We'll have to see. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me while I do some really boring design stuff. I'll try to do some regular boring design stuff coming up, and we'll just see how it goes. So as my voice fails, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.